So we're all kind of drowning in digital noise, right? Most of the advice out there tells us we need to detox. But what if that's the wrong approach? What if the answer isn't to just step away, but to perform a kind of spiritual surgery? Well, today we're diving into a book that offers exactly that, a surgeon's guide to healing our digital selves. The book is called Sterile Soul, and what's really fascinating is who wrote it. This isn't some tech guru or a psychologist, it's a surgical nurse, Gökhan Okuyucu, with 16 years of experience in the operating room. He's looking at our relationship with technology through the lens of surgery, blending what he calls science and spirit. And right from the dedication, you get a sense of this. He's not just talking about the physical quiet of an OR, he's inviting us to find that same kind of deep, sterile silence inside ourselves. A little sanctuary from a world that just will not stop shouting for our attention. Okay, and this is the core metaphor of the entire book. See, an operating room uses positive pressure to physically push contaminants out. The author says we need that for our minds, a kind of mental positive pressure to keep distractions out. But the digital world, that creates negative pressure. It's like a vacuum, constantly pulling at us, sucking out our attention, our energy, and even our sense of time. So what happens when you live under that constant negative pressure? Well, this leads us to the book's central diagnosis. The problem isn't just that we're distracted or lonely. It's what the author calls the digital pandemic, a deep, invisible sickness that's affecting our very core. And look, this isn't just a vague feeling. The numbers actually back this up. Studies show that real, face-to-face contact produces almost 8 times more of that bonding hormone, oxytocin, than digital interaction does. And just 2 hours on social media, that can cause a 14% drop in your daily life satisfaction. The data is pretty clear. We are measurably less connected and, frankly, less happy. But how does this digital chaos actually do the damage? On that deeper, unseen level. How does it create what the book calls this unseen damage to our soul? While the book maps this out using the ancient framework of the 7 chakras, it argues that the constant buzz of notifications throws our foundational root chakra into a permanent fight or flight mode. All that endless scrolling just drains our creative sacral chakra. Constantly comparing ourselves to others online, that just erodes our solar plexus and our sense of self-worth. And our heart chakra gets starved of real connection because, let's be honest, a like is not love. This whole digital assault just throws our entire energetic system completely out of balance. I mean, what a powerful way to put it. By connecting this very modern anxiety to ancient Sufi wisdom, the book reframes our habits. This isn't just about bad productivity, it's a slow spiritual corrosion. It suggests every notification is like a tiny spot of rust, every scroll an erosion on our heart. So after that pretty grim diagnosis, the book offers a mystic's surgical kit for treatment. And this is where it gets really interesting, because it starts blending these ancient spiritual practices with some very modern technology. The first tool in the kit is something called runic surgery. The idea here is to see ancient runes not just as letters, but as geometric seals that resonate with specific frequencies. The goal is to use these symbols to actively program and protect your energy field from all that digital interference. And here's how that works in practice. The book prescribes specific combinations or bind runes, almost like medicine. So, for example, you combine algis for protection with Isa for ice, and you create a frozen shield against what it calls digital parasites. Or you use the Ansus rune to help reclaim your own authentic voice from the noise of algorithmic speech. Now, after looking at these ancient symbols, the book completely pivots and asks a fascinating question. Could the very same technology that's making us sick also be used to heal us? And this brings us to the concept of frequency medicine and a specific device called Healy. The book presents it as a sort of digital tuning fork for your body. The idea is that it analyzes your bioenergetic field and then delivers these targeted microcurrents to restore your balance, using programs designed specifically to counter digital stress and EMF. So we have the diagnosis, and we have the surgical kit. But how do we actually apply this stuff in our daily lives? Well, the book's final section lays out a really practical protocol for what it calls daily sterilization, or basically energetic hygiene. It all starts with what the author calls the morning visit.
This is a deliberate routine designed to build an energetic shield before you engage with the digital world. It's about setting your own baseline with prayer, journaling, maybe some frequency work, so that when you finally do pick up your phone, you are consciously in control. Then, to maintain that sterile state throughout the day, the book offers these micro-rituals it calls between surgeries. And the key here isn't big, huge commitments, but tiny, powerful resets, a 60-second pause to breathe, 2 minutes of phone-free eating, 5 minutes outside. According to the author, these are the small sutures that hold our energetic field together against all the chaos. Ultimately, all of these tools and rituals, the runes, the frequency devices, the daily schedules, they all point back to this one central message. The external practices are all in service of protecting an internal state. The true sterile area isn't out there in a hospital, it's in your heart.
And so the book leaves us with this final question. It's a call to action that totally reframes our relationship with technology. It suggests the daily battle isn't about productivity, but about a profound act of spiritual hygiene. The question isn't how you'll manage your time, but how will you sterilize your soul?